Hi, my name is Terri Prince, formerly Terri LaBa, and I had the privilege of not only knowing Frank Gray, but I also got to work with Frank in the physical education arena. The first impact that Frank had on my life, and I can speak for a lot of Broomfield kids, back in the day, when the junior high was first built, and his enthusiasm to have you be successful. He taught my whole family, all 5 of us kids, how to swim at Broomfield Swim and Tennis Club. And I actually later in my life got to work with Frank at the Broomfield Country Club, which is now Eagle Trace Golf Course. I worked with him there and helped teach the little babies, introduce them to the water and that kind of stuff. So I did a full circle with Frank. Not only did he teach me, but I got to work with him as we taught other kids. I think one of the my favorite memory as a kid with Mr. Gray was with the gymnastic shows that we had in Broomfield. He started them at the junior high, and then the PE staff also, any of the new people that came on jumped on board, and everybody did gymnastics. And we held that show for about 40 years. So when I came back from college, I got a job at Baseline Junior High in Boulder, and at a track meet, Frank and I he was getting on his bus and I was getting on my bus, and he said, "Hey, we've got a job opening next year for the new middle school, which would be Broomfield Heights Middle School, and would you like to, we just want you to know about it, we want you to apply." And okay, coming from Frank Gray, the guy that taught you, Mr. Chiseled and the works, everybody knows Frank, I was just so flattered. And I thought in my mind, could it be that I get to work with him? He had his way of doing things, and he didn't say much about it. He's getting up there in years, and so he let the younger staff do a lot of stuff, but he'd always grumble about it and that. And I got the nickname from Frank of Tidy Pants, because I didn't understand that if Frank lost his keys, which he did once in a while, if you found them, you weren't supposed to tell him where they were, or you don't bring them to him. You just hint around where they might be, and he would find them and feel much better. Anyway, so I would bring the keys to Frank and say, "Yeah, I found your keys in the lock of the door in the small gym," whatever, and he would, and he'd growl at me, and he'd kind of clench his fists. Everybody knows that. He wouldn't foam with the mouth, but he would call me Tidy Pants. So that was an endearing nickname. Another great aspect of Frank Gray was that I went to school with his children. So Kathy was older than, in my brother's grade, older than me, and Glenn, of course, a year older, same age as my brother Tim. Then Glenn married Rihanna, and Rihanna and I were really good buddies all through junior high and high school. So, it was a small town, and it just meant so much to know everybody and how it's all come full circle. When we moved into the middle school, the gym facility was not completed until the following February. So we moved in August, and we did not have a gym for those months up until February. And seriously, talk about creative teaching. We taught health forever, which you can only do so much. I think we lasted around 14 weeks, and we would take the kids and jog down to the park. And of course, who was up front was Frank, leading everybody running down the hill and back up the hill, because he always ran and exercised with the kids and did all that. So when we finally got into the facility, we had an office in the main area of the building, in a little team room, and there was so much equipment that we had boxes up to the ceiling, and we had little aisleways down, and then there were cubbies that went to your desk so we could actually go in. So if we all were sitting at our desks, you couldn't see us because of the boxes. And we'd sort of made this little place you could change your clothes. And so Frank was telling us a story. He goes into the closet area, and he got so hyped up about the story he was telling. He forgot what he was doing, so he came out into our little hallway thing, and he didn't have his shorts on. He only had his undies on, but he didn't have his shorts on. And of course, all of us are looking at him like, Frank! And he looks down and like, oh my gosh. And we laughed and laughed and laughed.